front of the leg, extensor tendon. The one on the back is the deep flexor tendon. There's a lot more to a horse's leg than this, and lots more ligaments and that kind of thing, but this is the basic, just to give you an idea how it works. This red thing here on a horse is called a check ligament, and what it does is it keeps the joints in the horse's leg from over-flexing. So when a horse's foot is balanced correctly, so in developing the COVID, we used many x-rays over the course of many years to come up with how all of this fits together. And what we found, we x-rayed a lot of good-footed horses and found that a good-footed horse naturally has slightly more foot to the rear of center of balance that they do to the front of center of balance. So this is the way this model is set up right now. So when your horse steps forward, this foam here is to simulate the soft ground that we ride in a lot of times. So when your horse starts to bear weight, I'm just pushing down on the leg here. You see how the toe of the foot goes in slightly more than the heel does. So now when I pass forward, when I get far enough and there's enough pull on the rear of the leg, the heel rises, but notice this red thing here, which is the check ligament, isn't tight. So now your horse just breaks over, makes a nice long, low, flat stride. If you're competing in a timed event, you want to have a low, flat stride. If you have a horse with a lot of knee action that picks his feet up, he has a short stride, he's not going to be very fast. So now I move that back approximately a centimeter, which that's about how far your horse goes forward in the course of a reset. So some studies in Europe that were done have showed that for every centimeter your foot moves forward, adds 55 kilograms of extra pressure to the deep flexor tendon. So here's just at the end of your reset where things are pretty much equal front and back. So your horse goes forward, starts to bear weight, his foot goes straight in the ground. As it passes forward, he gets here, the heel starts to lift, but the check ligament still isn't tight. Your horse breaks over, makes a nice long flat stride. But here's a horse that isn't balanced correctly. So he's got about a little over almost 2 centimeters too far forward. So now watch this horse as he comes forward. When he puts his foot on the ground, you see now how the heel sinks in more than what the toe did. As the horse is passing over, he keeps going, and right there, the check ligament comes tight. This horse only has one choice now. He has to bend his knee and pick his leg up and make his next stride. But when he has to bend his knee and pick his leg up, that shortens his stride. Here's a horse that's really out of balance. So this is probably about 3 centimeters out of balance. So you're looking at each centimeter that pressure increases. So you're probably looking at a couple of 100 kilograms. And in pounds, that's way more than that. You're getting close to 500 extra pounds on this deep flexor tendon. If any of you ever had a horse that was diagnosed with navicular, the navicular bone sits right here, and that deep flexor tendon runs over the navicular bone. So when a horse's foot gets run forward, it puts a horrendous amount of pressure on there. So now the horse steps forward. See how the heel sinks in the ground? And the toe isn't hardly carrying any weight at all. Now when the horse gets only to about here, our check ligament comes tight. The horse has only one choice. He has to bend his knee and pick his leg up and then make his next stride. But when a horse is repeatedly doing this, he's putting way too much pressure on this check ligament as well as the whole deep flexor tendon as well as the joints are over flexing. And that's where your ring bone, arthritis, navicular, bone tendons, suspensory ligament problems, and that's all, a large part of that is caused because your horse's foot is too far forward. So what Ty's doing here is